Well, thank you, Frank Pallone. Let me just say I'm always pleased to defer to our Speaker of the House, who has been a real champion in working to make sure that the truth comes out about the Armenian Genocide and that the Congress fulfills its obligation to make sure we do pass a resolution on this issue. I thank her for her leadership. I also want to thank Frank Pallone and Joe Nolenberg for their leadership. I'm proud to be a member of the Armenian Caucus here in the United States Congress. And as Frank said, before I came to Congress, I was a member of the Maryland legislature and was proud to join with my colleague, State Senator Perry Speakus. And in the state of Maryland, the two of us championed a bill to make sure that in Maryland we recognized the Armenian Genocide, and we called upon the Congress to do the same. And we need to make sure we keep fighting for that. This was, as you know, the first genocide of the 20th century. And if people had stood up and called attention to what was happening at the time and condemned it, we may well have avoided the other genocides and atrocities in the 20th century. There's a book by Samantha Powers you may have read. It's called A Problem from Hell, America in the Age of Genocide. And she clearly points out the fact that if humanity allows these kind of genocides to go by in silence, we will be condemned to face other genocides. And so we have an obligation to speak out, and the way we can speak out on behalf of the American people here in the United States Congress is through the passage of this kind of resolution. And Ambassador Morgenthau's words have been quoted many times. He was in Istanbul at the time, but it's also important to recognize that the people who were at the front with the survivors we have here today, there was a consul from the American embassy by the name of Leslie Davis, and with his own eyes he witnessed also what was happening. He reported to Morgenthau and others, and this is what he said, and I quote, "It has been no secret that the plan was to destroy the Armenian race as a race, but the methods used have been more cold-blooded and barbarous, if not more effective, than I had first supposed." He later said in the same cable that was sent, quote, "I do not believe there has ever been a massacre in the history of the world so general and thorough as that which is now being perpetrated in this region, or that a more fiendish, diabolical scheme has ever been conceived by the mind of man." That is what he said based on his eyewitness testimony from the front. That document is not far from here in the United States archives. It is a matter of public record of the United States, and we now need to make sure that that truth, which we know is in the archives, is also reflected in what we do in the United States Congress. Nancy Pelosi worked very hard this past year to try to get us in a position to finally do the right thing, and I know that at the end, truth will overcome. With your help, we'll work together to get it done. Thank you for all that you have done going forward.